edition. Thank you for the warm welcome, Mrs. Melendrez, Mrs. Reynolds. And today we have a distinguished guest on our show. We have Mrs. Priscilla Holt Gomez. She is a board certified behavior analyst here in the Inland Empire serving families. And her whole thing is all about behaviors. And so she influences behaviors to make more meaningful life changes. And so we thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so our goal today is just really a couple of things. We want to get a foundational knowledge of behaviors and then look at some strategies and hopefully get some insight from you for our parents at home, especially they're working with their students who are in distance learning. Mm-hmm. And so that's our goal for today. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. Can you give us just a basic overview of behaviors and how you work with them and how you look at behaviors?
Yeah, so all behaviors are learned. And so when we see these specific behaviors, there's always a function. So why are they occurring? So any behavior is going to fall under the 4 functions of behavior. And the acronym that I like to use is SEAT. So SEAT. So sensory, escape, attention, and tangibles. Tangibles can also be also known as access to items.
SEAT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes it easy
yes.
to understand. And you said those are the functions, so that's like why it happens.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So sensory, escape, attention, and then tangible. So like things like Fortnite, is that like a tangible?
That would be a tangible. Yes.
you know about Fortnite. Yeah. Okay, and then a couple of the other ones that I heard, and it applies, I think, to us, is you said escape.
Yes.
Especially for students. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we might see that with some of our students at home in distance learning, especially, and also attention was the third one, correct? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of expand on that, what that might look like?
Yeah, so escape may look merely getting up from the table and leaving the designated area. It also could be closing the Chromebook itself and escaping the class, the assignment, peer interaction. If we're looking at attention, that could be maybe your child is in the chat box, maybe typing some inappropriate comments or just off-topic comments, and that spikes some interaction from other peers. Oh, that was so funny, or and then it's just an ongoing thing. So praise, getting that positive reinforcement of like, oh, I'm funny, I'm gonna keep doing it. Or also maybe even a reprimand from the teacher. So hey, stop doing that, that's inappropriate. No matter what, if it's positive, so that, oh, that was funny, or that reprimand, constituted as negative attention, it makes no difference to the child. Attention is attention.
Hopefully that kind of resonates with you too, to be a little bit more precise. And so with that being said, if we're looking at, let's take it back. Let's think about from our parents' perspective, and they're teaching, or they're working with their kids, and they're in distance learning. And parents, you're doing everything right now. I mean, you guys are superheroes, and our world has changed. Your kids are at home, and you're doing your best to navigate all areas. And we just want to commend you on that, but also too, let's look at how we can possibly be able to gain some insight from you so that we can make our lives and the way that we're working with our kiddos a little bit more efficient. Like, what would you say to a parent that is in this circumstance?
Yeah, as you were saying, we're admiring the parents as our whole lives have changed, but also taking into account and being flexible with our children. I think not only have your lives changed and your routines have changed, but so have theirs, and maybe they're coping the best way that they know how. And so in these times, we want to catch them when they're doing good. So where are they currently at? Always looking at, yes, maybe before they were doing these things, and some way down the line things have changed. So, and that's okay. You can always work back up to where they were. So we just need to always start where they're currently at. So for an example of assignments being turned in, if they're turning in one, maybe, not as frequent or, whatever it may be, start at that one. So if you turn in one assignment, you get this special dessert, or even simple, maybe not even a reward every time, but it's praise. So catching them like, hey, I noticed that you turned in that assignment. Amazing job. You're killing it. You're doing a great job. Because even that will boost up, and they'll increase the likelihood of that continuous behavior happening in the future. I think catching them when our kids are doing good is a huge tool that we need in our toolbox. Another one may be screen time, right? Maybe your child always has their camera off, and you want to start where they're at. So start at 1 minute. It may seem like, only 1 minute, but that's the building block to get into that hour, that 2 hours that we're looking for. So starting at that 1 minute, hey, today during distance learning, turn on your camera from 1 minute, and then you'll get this, or, whatever it may be. And then you can change your criteria. Now it's not 1 minute, now it's 2 minutes, now it's 3 minutes, 5, 10, 15, and before you know it, now their screen's on, they're interacting, they're asking questions, and now they're on screen. Yes, they're on screen for an hour, right? And that's with you, reinforcing them and setting up those typical, reward systems.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. When you said favorite dessert, all I went to was red velvet cake, and it's right around the holidays, and I was like, okay, you talking my language now. No, but for reals though, I took away a couple lessons from that. What I really got from you is that you were saying just start where the kid's at, and I think that just takes an honest assessment of like, all right, where are we at? Like you said, is one assignment something that we can look forward to, or making it to class, whatever your thing is that you're working on right now. What I took away is start where the kid is at. And then another one that I've been hearing you say and kind of re-emphasizing is praise, like catching your kid, and when they're doing something good, like acknowledging them for it and making it a big deal. And then you said systematically building up and increasing what you're asking of the
Exactly.
kids. All right. Yeah, those are great strategies, and they're kind of simple, but for me, I don't always think about it like that. But so when we have these conversations, I think it just kind of brings us back to some of those effective practices. And hopefully you've been able to take away something from this Real Talk. And we are so glad that you were here. We are thankful for your expertise, especially from that behavioral lens. It's not every day that we get to think about it this way and think about parenting and raising our kids in distance learning this way. So hopefully you got some knowledge and some strategies, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for being here on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. See you later.
Bye.